Let's decode a few cancer terms. I'm on active surveillance, but what the heck does that mean? And why are we not treating the cancer that I currently have in my body? Active surveillance means that you're just watching the cancer and that you're not currently on any treatments. People can be put on active surveillance for a number of different reasons, but it oftentimes means that you're in a pretty good spot. And in those cases, it usually means that the doctors think that your cancer is not an immediate threat to you at the moment. So it's relatively safe to just watch and see what happens. That's where I'm currently at. I had a very large surgery last summer where we took out this giant tumor and kicked out about 15 of his friends in my liver. But there were a few really tiny spots that weren't seen during surgery. We don't think that they were new though. In November, we went back to try to treat a few of those spots, and we got most of them. But it's really hard to treat a tumor that's under 1 centimeter. And most of my tumors were 5 millimeters or less. So we think we might have missed 2 of them. It can totally happen. They were really small. So since my ablations in November, I've just been on active surveillance. And all the spots we are currently watching have been stable or no growth without any treatment. And because what I have left behind is just too small to treat right now, we are just watching it. Which feels crazy, right? The idea of leaving any cancer behind used to terrify me. But these spots that I have left behind are really tiny. To give you a size comparison, if you look at the inside of this larger circle, that's about 1 centimeter. And the inside of the smaller circle is about 5 millimeters. So most of what I have left is about the size of that small circle, which is a far cry from where I started. Since we already might have missed 2 spots because they were too small, it's better if we just wait and watch to see what happens instead of treating my liver and possibly damaging healthy tissue. So I'll just hang out and see if it grows. Treatment plans can change at any time, but the current plan is if it does grow, we'll wait for it to get to a more targetable size and then we'll go back and try to ablate it again. I realized I said ablation a bunch of times, but I did not explain what that is either. Ablating a tumor is basically you stick a really long, really fancy needle inside of a tumor and heat it up really hot to ablate it. That kills the tumor. So, long story long, that's why I'm on active surveillance. Other stage 4 patients would often be treated with systemic treatment, which is like treatment that goes into your system. So think of chemo or immunotherapy or chemo pills. But because what I have is so rare, it's called a metastatic oncocytoma. Oncocytomas are supposed to be benign, but mine didn't catch the memo and is a jerk, and we ended up here. But because of that, no treatments have ever really been tried or approved for my tumor type. Also, because this thing was benign, we're hoping that if we can get all of this, it won't go anywhere else. But it's everybody's best guess because this is really rare. Because this is so rare, there are very few case reports. But there is a case report from the 1990s where somebody had Mets to their liver, which is metastatic disease or spread, and they had stable disease for at least 4 years. So it's totally possible that these things could stay stable. So I may not be NED, no evidence of disease, but I'm in a great spot.